Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Well, I just love Palm Beach Kennel Club. I mean, those wonderful dogs are beyond belief. They are so sweet, and they run, and they don't run very long. If you blink, the race is over. So I know I used to go there, and I used to sit and have lunch or dinner, and you can't have a conversation while they're running because it'll be over. But everybody has so much fun because they have their little sheets, and they mark who they think was going to win, and I miss doing that. I haven't been back there for a little bit. I've got to go bring some friends there. People should realize that the Palm Beach Kennel Club is really a great venue to go. You can have a lovely food.
But they did.
Yeah, see, I figured. No, you've done a great job. I know you're always there. You're always, when there are big events, you're always right there. So I was just saying to Theresa before we got on the show, what a nice thing it was that on November 11th, on Veterans Day, you did something so special for the veterans. Tell us about what happened.
Yeah, every Veterans Day we offer, we always offer free admission and free parking here, but we also offered them a free lunch or dinner. All they had to do is show their veteran ID, and we had a special ceremony in the afternoon with the Lake Worth ROTC color guard and the live national anthem and a message of thanks to the veterans. So it was a great day, and we had a great turnout.
Yeah, and I was just saying that it seems that, and we, of course, dedicate our expo to the veterans because we don't want them to be forgotten. And now World War II veterans are kind of fading away a little bit, so we need to then, go after all the other veterans. Don't ever forget Vietnam and the Gulf War in Afghanistan and all the things that those guys, really went, and women. We had a lot of women who were, you know what, Teresa, we even had a woman in her 90s who was in World War II, and I think she was a nurse or something, and she came. It was great.
Yeah. We also did a special luncheon for our employees who are veterans, and we had one woman of all the veterans, but we wanted to show appreciation for their service, and they've been it spanned everywhere from Iraq and Afghanistan to WW2. So we had all types of veterans that we honored with a free lunch and special ceremony. So
that was really
good.
Yeah, that is really nice. Well, let's talk about your veteran dogs because there are a lot of dogs there that are real veterans. So tell us about how do you choose the dogs to run, or is that because they all have their own trainers?
Well, the Palm Beach Kennel Club contracts with different kennels, and the kennels actually own the dogs, or they have separate owners who supply the dogs to each kennel. So they, just pretty much bring them here, and when they start out, they check them out to see if this is the right track for them. Sometimes this track doesn't suit a certain dog, and they will move on to another facility like Jacksonville or St. Petersburg. I think there are 12 tracks in the state of Florida. So the dogs, come in, and when they start to win, they move up in class, and they also go down in class if they're not doing too well. And, they kind of always race against dogs with the same level of experience. So all the grade A's are put together, all the grade B's are put together, and it's up to the public to figure out which one of those is going to win, place, or show.
And the one thing that I've never seen is a greyhound baby.
No?
They must be so cute.
They are adorable. They are very much like any other puppy you see, very fuzzy and round, and then all of a sudden they slender out, and they grow up, and they are very adorable. I should send you a couple of
you should do
pictures.
that. You should do that.
We used to bring them when there was a local farm here in the area. We would bring them out occasionally, and people would just absolutely love them. They got to pet them and pick them up and all that kind of stuff, and they look so unlike the finished product.
Right. Well, what I like about them, Theresa, is especially the Greyhounds. They have the most gentle nature, don't they?
They certainly do. They're very gentle. They're the number one misconception is that you're going to get a dog that's just high-strung and running all over the place, and they happen to be couch potatoes. They're very quiet, and a lot of people say that they're not allergic to them, where they would be allergic to another type of dog.
Right.
And they're just sweet dogs, and they've been well maintained and well cared for, and that's part of the reason they make such good pets.
Right. Exactly. So, well, let me just say that going there are people who are very serious about betting on these dogs. I mean, this isn't, there are a lot of people that just go, they want to have dinner, and then they want to play the dogs. But there are some people who really know what each dog's done, the history. I've watched that. I mean, so that is serious. And if people haven't been there to see it, it's worth just going there and following someone like that.
Yeah. We have people who have booklets of statistics, and it is a science. It's not just picking a dog name. There's a way to handicap, and it takes a little time, and you look and see how they've been doing lately, if they're in the number one post position, how in previous races when they were the number one, how they did. Do they like the inside of the track or the outside? All these things are figured into, who they think is going to win. In some races, you look at them and you just say, I can't figure this one out, so skip that one and go to the next one. Because we have 15 races every day.
15 races every day.
And we're open every day of the year except for Thanksgiving and Christmas with racing. So so we're running all the time, and you can always come in. Within my office, there's our handicapper, Jeff Prince, and he does his daily picks, and he really spends a lot of time because I watch him, watching replays, studying the programs, and he puts out a free tip sheet that is usually pretty good, so it's called Prince's Picks, and it's free whenever you come out here. You just go to the info center and pick one of those up, and maybe it'll help you.
Yeah, maybe it'll help you. Yeah, well, it's better than nothing. That's what you have to do. So, okay.
And if you're new to the track, we have information centers where, they're not going to overwhelm you, but they'll give you the basics of where things are at and basic betting tips. You start just playing win, play, show, and then maybe get into playing quinellas and just kind of take your time. Nobody's telling you have to bet a lot. You can bet $2, you can bet $20, whatever's comfortable.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing that I don't want to forget is your dining services and your food. I mean, you must have a very, very good chef, and the variety is lovely. So there are people that probably don't even want to bet. They just want to go and eat there.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have our head chef is Chef Wan Yu, and he's been with us a long time, and he oversees both the Paddock Restaurant, which is our fine dining restaurant, and the Terrace, which is more casual but still equally good. And in the Paddock, you're going to see a beautiful layout. It's tiered, so you can see the racetrack, and each table has a TV because we have a lot of people who like to watch other places like Churchill Downs or Gulfstream. So they have the TV right there. They can switch it to whatever channel they want. And in the restaurant, we have everything. We serve lunch and dinner, and we have everything from burgers and wonderful sandwiches and breakfast foods up to fillets, fresh fish, pastas. So it's really a great restaurant.
And what time do you actually open?
The restaurant's open at 11:30 for lunch and at 6:30 for dinner.
And when do you close?
They are open usually until the last race, which is, on Friday and Saturday, it never shuts down. But on other days, like by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, they'll stop serving.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if someone wants to go, do they make reservations?
They can make reservations. They can call our main number, which is 561-683-2222, and just get to the operator by dialing 0, and she'll connect you with the restaurant you're interested in. Again, we have the Paddock restaurant and we have the Terrace, but you can just walk in. If it's just on a whim, you're driving by, we usually always have room for walk-ins, and except for days like the Kentucky Derby or Breeders' Cup,
right?
The really big days.
Exactly. And tell us how that works. So someone comes there, they actually go to a room where you have TVs and where you can see a lot of the races across the country.
Well, it's throughout the whole track. So you basically, pick a channel if you're able to access a TV. Otherwise, you can walk throughout the track's building and just look for if you want to see Churchill Downs, you just look for the TVs that are showing that. So it's available throughout the restaurants and throughout the whole track.
I see. My guest is THERESA HUME, and Theresa's Director of Publicity at Palm Beach Kennel Club. And if you want more information, you can go on their website. That's a great website, and you'll learn so much about greyhounds. It's always amazing. It's PB Kennel Club, .com. PB for Palm Beach, pbkennelclub.com. And you can go and learn all about it. Sometimes what you want to do is go to Google and learn about greyhounds. They're fascinating. And I guess each race, in between each race, how long is it? About half an hour or 20 minutes? Or
it's about 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. And then they bring the dogs down. You can see them. They all come out. I mean, they all come to one area, don't they? And you can actually go and see them. They're so cute.
Yep. That's called the Paddock. And you can check them out before they race and then watch them walk down the track. And, a lot of times people do say, oh, that one looks like it's ready to go today.
So that's what they're doing. So, I see. So they go to choose the dog that they want. And tell us about this rabbit. It's not a real rabbit, is it?
No, it used to be. It's always been just a mechanical lure, and back in the day, it was a rabbit facsimile. But now it's just a bone.
A bone? Well, that makes sense. I'd rather have a bone than a rabbit anyway.
The dogs they're sight dogs. It has nothing to do with scent or anything like that. So we have a lure operator that keeps the lure a certain number of feet in front of them so they can always see it. So what they see is what they chase. And that's, basically how they do.
Right. Okay. It's so funny. Well, I have to just tell you that it's a fun thing to do. See, people say, gee, what should we do today? Well, we go to the movies or we can go to the theater. But what you have to do is add Palm Beach Kennel Club to your list of places that you want to go. You could go there and spend 3 to 4 hours there. By the time you eat something, you play you get some of the dogs and you play the dogs, and then you go and we didn't even talk about poker. You still have great poker, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yes, we have 64 tables of poker. So, like a day like today is super busy, being that it's, just before Thanksgiving and people are off. And so downstairs we have our cash games, and you can play anything from, low level to very high level poker. You pick and choose what it is you want to play. And then upstairs we have our tournament room. So every day we have different types of tournaments with different levels of buy-in. You could be paying $25 or maybe $100, and you just play against your fellow players, and usually there's some good pots to be won there. So, yeah, it's a really popular poker room, and we also have table games such as 3-card poker. And
what is that?
It's called 3-card poker.
What's that?
Well, the way we promote it is it's like easy to play, and it's basically you're dealt 3 cards, and if you hit a certain hand type, you get paid off. It's quick, it's fast, and it's easy. It's not like you're playing against people. You're playing against the not the house, but against the banker. So it's really easy. You can come and get a little quick lesson to learn how to play, and it's something new here, and it seems to be very popular. So,
well, that's good. Well, you're always thinking of something, and I do remember I used to go there years ago, very often, as a matter of fact, and I saw that the people with the poker, they have poker clubs, and then they come there, and it was just, and you can't talk because they are really serious. I remember, and it was amazing to me to see so many women. Didn't know so many women played poker.
Yes, we have a lot of women that come here and play, and there's some very serious players, and some people just come and it's like a good way to socialize, and some people come with their sunglasses, and those are the serious ones. But we have a little bit of everything for different levels for everyone's comfort zone.
Right. And, of course, you've been there for so long. And tell me what has changed for you with being there. I mean, I don't think the building looked like that when you first started.
No. The building definitely has evolved. When I started, it was greyhound racing only from November to like April. And then we shut down for the summer. And along about the late 80s, we went almost full-time. I think we went 10 months for a year, and then soon after that we went year-round. We were able to add the simulcast wagering, which is very popular. People, as opposed to driving to Miami or they can come here, bet on Gulfstream or horses, and get the same payout, watch it on the screens, and not have to drive that distance. So that was a big thing when we added in the simulcast. And then in '97, we were able to add the poker. The table games just came in the last couple of years. So we've changed and redecorated. So it's always evolving, and we would love to at one point get the slots, but that has to be approved by the state legislature. So we've gone up with every year fighting to get that, and it hasn't happened yet. So we're going to keep doing that because we feel like we need to keep adding things to keep it fresh, and we'd rather the people spend the money in Palm Beach County than go somewhere else.
Sure, absolutely. And there's never been anything bad that I've ever read or people haven't read. It's safe. I think your parking it's either $1 or free. I mean, it's very inexpensive.
Yeah, we have free parking, and then there's also preferred and valet.
Right.
So, we actually have the Palm Beach County Sheriffs are part of our security. It is very safe. They they watch over everything so nobody gets out of hand.
Right.
So it's a fun place, and it's good. We always have special events going on. To check out our website to see what's coming up. It's a little quiet right now, and then after Christmas, it'll really get cooking with all our big stake races and President's Day and St. Patrick, all those types of things. So
right, I remember that. So I just want to remind everybody it's pbkennelclub.com. So go on the website because there are so many things occurring there. It would be a good thing to do, and then you'd see, all the variety of stuff. Now, Is there an age? I mean, can you bring a child to dine there, or is it still held from 18?
No, you can bring your kids as long as they're with an adult to come eat, go to the concession stand, sit outside. You can go pretty much everywhere except for the poker room and near the betting windows.
Okay, so this is interesting. So if you wanted to take your children there, your grandchildren, you could sit and have something to eat. They could watch the races. Mm-hmm. They just can't bet on it.
Right.
Oh, I would think they'd love that. I mean, a lot of children have no idea about that.
Mm-hmm. Kids love dogs, and they really enjoy seeing them. And for most of our events and on the weekends, we walk around with our greyhound pets. And so they get to see them up close and personal and see what great dogs they are.
Well, and of course, we haven't talked about adopting a greyhound, which is, that's one of my favorite ideas. Mm-hmm. Adopt a greyhound. Tell us about how that works.
Well, we work with 4 local groups, and they take the dogs from the kennels once they retire, and they get them spayed or neutered and their teeth cleaned and all their shots updated. So, and they take care of them until a family or a person adopts them. So they each have their own websites where you can see adoptable greyhounds and with their profiles. And we have one group which ties right into the whole veterans. It's called Awesome Greyhound Hounds and Heroes.
Oh.
And so their main objective is to provide a service dog to a veteran in need at no cost.
Oh.
So they train them for over, once a dog retires from racing, they train them for over usually 4 to 6 months to do the various service type commands, and then they train the veteran and hand it over to them. And if you talk to some of the veterans who've gotten them, I think they've done about 14 now. They just can't say enough. I mean, a lot of them have PTSD, and this is a calming factor, and they're sturdy for those who have a little bit of stability issues. And it's worked out wonderful. It's just such a win-win for the dog and for the veteran.
Yeah, I really think it is. That's a terrific thing. And so, yeah, and do all the dogs get adopted, or are there places where they go to just have a nice, happy retirement?
Yeah, the 3 things that they do is when they exit Palm Beach Kennel Club, they'll either go to an adoption group. Sometimes they go to they call them farms, and that's where some dogs are bred and puppies are born, and they're cared for until they make it to the racetrack. And sometimes they go to another track. Those are kind of the three options.
And they come in all colors. I've been amazed. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've seen white greyhounds, I've seen black greyhounds, I've seen colored greyhounds. They're beautiful.
Yes, they are. Yeah, we have black and white-ticked and brindle and fawn. They're all different, and they're boys and girls, various shapes and sizes, anywhere from 50-some pounds to up to 80. And they're just they try to, the adoption groups, they'll do a home check for a potential adopter, and they try to fit the dog with the family's lifestyle. If the family's very active, they want maybe a younger dog who's get in the car all the time and go places and things like that.
Right.
If it's an older person, maybe they want something a little bit more mild, and so it's always a kind of custom fit.
So I don't want this to be an embarrassing question. Have you ever adopted one?
I haven't, but that's going to be my next dog.
I was going to say that. How, here you are all that time there, and if you don't have a dog, I understand it, but you couldn't possibly get a different kind of a dog
No.
after you. No, you'd have to get one.
Exactly.
I knew a woman who got it for her mother, and her mother was in her 80s. And, boy, they were total companions wherever the mother went. Sat in a chair, there was the dog. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Yeah, usually people who adopt the Greyhound breed, they stick right with it. And they have one, sometimes they have two. I've known people to have 4 or 5. They just, just fall in love with the breed. And
yeah, they are so sweet and gentle. That's the king. And I think we've done it. I don't want to. We have to probably close off here, but I just want to thank you, and it's just been wonderful. And I'm so proud of you for being there for so long and taking care of them. And Palm Beach Kennel Club, and it's Theresa Hume, and go to their website, pbkennelclub.com. PB, which is for Palm Beach, kennelclub.com. You'll see a lot on there, and there's a lot to do. Make this something you do over your holiday weekend. It's a great, and you can go there during the night. I mean, during any weeknight, but do be sure to go there and have something to eat and enjoy yourself. You will not be sorry. Thank you so much, Theresa.
Thank you, and we want you to come back up here.
I will. I'm going to come back there. I'm going to bring a friend, and I'm going to come
call me
there.
anytime.
I am. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to do that. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, Theresa.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.